I've listened to things myself throughout my life thinking, oh, surely this wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen. But believe you me, they do happen. Because these planners mean business. And it's not meant to make sense. It's meant that you simply do what you're told and obey. That's what they want. Obedient, cooperative people, as they train them in school the same way. And they'll give you lots and lots of entertainment, lots of it, to make up so that most folk will be quite content. That's what Aldous Huxley touched on, that people would be quite content to be slaves. When you take Aldous Huxley, who wrote Brave New World, amongst other books, and he wrote that in the 1930s as well, but in the 1960s he gave a speech, 61 I think it was, in the State Department's Voice of America, which they wrote up. But he said that a world of psychologically manipulated slaves living in a concentration camp of the mind, enhanced by propaganda and psychotropic drugs, learning to love their servitude and abandoning all will to resist. This is the final revolution, he said. And so you have a concentration camp of the mind. You wouldn't notice it was there. You'd be quite content to be managed. That's really what he's talking about. And again, another associate they had was Charles Galton Darwin, who was a physicist, nuclear physicist, who also wrote in his own book, The Next Million Years, about the evolution of society as they managed society and they dumbed the people down. He said the same thing. The people wouldn't need really their ability to reason things out because the state would be doing their thinking for them and making decisions for them. And other ones have parroted the same things since in their own books as well, other managers. So we're pretty well there when you think about it. So it's the final revolution, according to Aldous Huxley. People will learn to love their servitude and they'll abandon all will to resist. After all, will to resist, you see, is such a drag, isn't it? That's a downer when you have to start thinking about what's really happening, what's going on, when you can literally drift off into all kinds of fantasy that's provided for you. And to take drugs galore, they're going to legalize a lot more drugs too. That's no coincidence, by the way, either, that they're all doing it across the board, across the whole world, actually, at the same time. So whenever you see things managed across different countries at the same time, you're dealing with a world government. I hope you understand that. But it's so obvious when you've read their books and you see it getting put into action in your own lifetime, much of it, and you're still living through other parts of it which they're presently working on and bringing forth. It's quite amazing to really watch and realize that sure enough the world is run pretty well and planned centuries ahead. Centuries. From the dreams of the secret societies, you might say, from a couple of 100 years ago to the present day, and the open advocation of this whole agenda by supposedly reputable organizations is quite something to see when they haven't veered away from any of it, in fact, that was planned such a long time ago.